I love the sound of rain. Isn't it nice? It sounds like someone's up there with peanuts and they're throwing it down on the roof of my car. It's just so comforting. Some people don't like rain because they think that it messes with their sports. Well, it's probably because you play baseball and you're a wuss. Yes, I just said that. No, but don't worry. I love baseball. Believe me, I really played it a lot when I was younger. But I digress. When I was in college, Spokane, going to Whitworth, I went on a school trip. And we went around Europe. We went through Italy, Switzerland, France, England, or I'm sorry, the UK. By the way, UK, Britain, and England, I get all of those mixed up. I know there's some rhyme or reason to it, and that's probably just because I'm an ignorant American. But yeah, if you understand how England fits into Great Britain and then Great Britain fits into the UK, oh, it's like an egg. The yolk, the white, and the shell. Brilliant. Okay, so anyway, I got a concussion when I was in Switzerland. And ever since then, I just wasn't the same. Just kidding. I'm 100%. But at that moment, it was one of the scariest experiences in my life. If you've ever hit your head so hard that you forgot basically who you were and where you were, it's nightmarish. It's best described as you're watching TV, but you come into an episode halfway through. But you're not just observing, you're in the episode itself. You are a character, and you don't know what's going on. It's so scary. It's so nightmarish. So this is what happened. When we were in Switzerland, I was skiing in Zermatt. And if you've ever heard that word before, it's where the Matterhorn is located. It's beautiful there. The Matterhorn is a big, big mountain. Extremely technical, very difficult to climb. I hope to climb it someday. Woo, that'd be just so cool. But anyway, if you're thinking about the paper mache version in Disneyland, you're kidding yourself. This thing is huge, and there's no roller coaster going around it. However, there is a ski resort that sort of goes around its base. And the ski resort is beautiful. You're going along, and in order to get from one run to the other, I remember going through a tunnel that was cut out of rock. And they push snow into the tunnel because, of course, it can't snow underground. But they push snow in there so you could just keep skiing through it. And you could see the texture of the rock up above. It looked as if dwarves cut this big tunnel out. It was so cool. Imagine skiing through a tunnel and then you just come out into the open air and there's blue sky and there's snow and there's the Matterhorn in front of you. Just this big mountain that looks like a shark tooth just jutting up from the gums. So awesome. I was snowboarding, not skiing, although I prefer skiing now. But then, I was like, hey, I'm going to try snowboarding. And in preparation for this trip, because they said, we're going to try snowboarding, because although this is a school trip and we'll be studying philosophy of Europe, we will have fun. And one of these fun things will be skiing and snowboarding. So be sure that you know how to do it. So, me being my intelligent little bow self, I went about once or twice before. In case you've ever tried snowboarding, once or twice is not enough to be competent in snowboarding. So there I was, screaming down this hill, going so fast. And yes, I was one of those guys. But, Liz's voice in the back of my mind said, Beau, speed control, only ski or snowboard within your limits. So I did. And, as you're snowboarding, you're sort of going along like this, going. And for speed control, what I did was I sort of sat back on my butt, still standing, and sort of scraped the snow down. And I know there's all this etiquette about don't scrape the snow. You're going to ruin it. You're pushing all the good stuff down. I was a newbie, okay? Have grace on me here. So I scraped like this, and then there was a bump sort of in front of me. and I sort of hopped up, being catapulted off the bump into the air, and then sort of went down like this and caught my front edge, and the snowboard stopped and my body kept going. So it was sort of one of whoop, bam, and smashed the front of my forehead right into this hard, icy snow. Now, you should be wondering right now, Beau, were you wearing a helmet? No, I was not. Go ahead, ask me why. I bet you didn't ask me why, because this is a video and that would be ridiculous. You're crazy. Well, when I was in the rental shop, but a few hours earlier, I said I'd like to snowboard. And they're very, very nice people there. Everybody in Switzerland is nice. And they said, okay, all right, well, here's all the gear that you need. And I said, well, I'm used to having a helmet. Do you rent helmets? And they said, yes, but you don't need a helmet. I said, well, I kind of prefer a helmet. I've only been snowboarding like twice before this. You'll do fine. Just stay on you know, don't go too fast. And I was like, okay, all right, all right, I won't wear a helmet. You know, after all, they're the professionals. I'm gonna trust them here. Yeah, I should have worn a helmet. And yeah, so I woke up with this tremendous headache. And as I kind of blinked and things sort of came into focus, there was just this blinding white light, because I hit my head so hard my goggles were all askew. So it's just this bright light. Everything was white. And I was like, God, did I die? Jesus, is that you? But no, it was the bright white light of the snow blinding me. And I was like, okay, well, yeah, this is kind of weird. So let's look for some contrast to focus on. Oh, there's some red, bright red. Well, that's interesting. The bright red is all over the bright white. That's because it was blood in the snow. Yes, blood from me that I had created. And so I kind of sat up on my knees and shook my head, which hurt like crazy, so I didn't shake my head, and sort of looked around at all the people going around me and going past, and they didn't stop, and I was kind of hoping someone would stop and say, are you okay? Because I was not okay. And then I was like, okay, all right, I just hit my head on the slopes here in Switzerland. I'm okay. Let's just get to the bottom and check out and see how bad I'm bleeding. And then it hit me. I didn't know where I was. Now, I just said I'm in Switzerland here, skiing. That packet of memory can best be described as floating away. And I just kind of did one of these. Gone. It's the weirdest thing ever when amnesia hits. It's like these little packets of memory just kind of float away. So I knew what was going on, and then slowly, I began to forget what was happening, where I was. I was like, okay, I'm snowboarding. I'm obviously snowboarding, and I'm on a ski slope. Wait, where am I? Wait, what am I doing? Uh-oh. Okay. Focus. I'm here on a school trip. Wait, why am I here again? Things like that. It was wild and terrifying too. And so I thought, okay, all these people going by me, I must know someone. I can't be here alone. I had the wherewithal to think that. And so I started scanning the faces, and I couldn't recognize anybody. It's like, okay, all right, let's make our way down this hill. Oh, I'm snowboarding. Okay, let's try to gently go down. So down I went, and I kind of sat there in front of the lodge for I don't know how long, but I just sat there scanning the faces, trying to recognize someone. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And of course, this whole time, this throbbing headache is just feels like a little monkey's in your head with a drum, and he's going like this on the temples, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, I recognized someone, and her name was Kristen. But I didn't know that at the moment. I just recognized her face, and I said, I know you. Of course, she was with my school group, and she just kind of went, are you okay, Beau? I was like, no, I'm not okay. And so she eventually took me upstairs in the lodge, and that's where the entire group of people, like 20 people, were there eating lunch. I think they'd been there for quite a while, and that probably explained why I was so hungry at that moment too, because I forgot what time it was, what day it was, what year it was, everything gone. And this was the most profound thing I remember from this rather bad injury I had. There were two things that I refused to forget when I was there, just sitting there waiting for people to walk by and waiting for my mind to recognize someone. The first thing, and this is very, very telling, I think, the first thing that I refused to forget, and I just kept telling myself over and over and over again, it was, I love God. I love Jesus. I love him. Beyond that, like the little theological intricacies of things, I couldn't remember, but I was determined not to forget that I had a crazy love for Jesus. The second thing that I refused to forget and I kept focusing on, I couldn't even remember my social security number at that point, which I hope you know by heart, and I knew by heart. I could rattle it off like that. But then, couldn't. God and my love for Liz, who I am married to now. Now, at that point, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend, but that was very, very eye-opening when she kind of made it into basically my top two list here. Love God and love Liz. Like, hey, how do you like that, Liz? I'm putting you up, there with God. That's not my point. My point is that those are the things that I hold closest to my heart. And that was really eye-opening to me. It's like, wow, even when I don't know where I am, why I'm here, or barely who I am, there are two core things that I will refuse to let go of. God and Liz. So I guess if you don't really know what your priorities are in your life, go get a concussion. No, don't. I promise. I'm 100%. I'm all there.